Today, our title is The Signs of the End of the World. Well, in the Bible, does Jesus say about the end of the world? What will be happen? Yes. He is telling us what will be happen and of the world. And we are going to learn about that today. I think we need to turn on the light. Okay. Can you read it together?
But of the day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father.
Yes. The Bible clearly says that the time of when Jesus will come back, no one knows. Who knows only? Even the angels do not know. Only who knows? My Father. So the Jesus never let us know the time when He will come. We do not know the day. We do not know the hour. But thing is important is like this. If somebody says that Jesus will come this day, he's a fake. Why? He cannot say the hour. Even Jesus do not know. How come? Even angels do not know. How come? He knows, isn't it? So we do not know the time when Jesus will come. Jesus can come even tomorrow, even the day after tomorrow, even today. So when we should be ready to meet Jesus? Tomorrow or today? If Jesus will come tonight, we should be ready today. When is the day that you will meet Jesus? No one knows. But this is the sure things. When you die, you will face the judgment, isn't it? It doesn't mean that because after die, you cannot do anything. So, do you know when you will die? I have a news. My friend died. But he didn't know when he will die. He's still young, but it is so pitiful that he has no more life. So what he is waiting? He's waiting for the second coming of Jesus and the judgment day of the Jesus. Well, the people of the disciple of Jesus is asking like this. Can you read it?
Now as he sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when will this be? And what will be the signs of your coming, and of the end of the age?
Yes. Disciples is asking, which is a Shinteleia. Shinteleia is the end of the world, really when Jesus was coming, okay? So we need to understand Shinteleia is when Jesus is the one coming, this is the second coming, and they are talking about the end. The end is Shinteleia. And Jesus used this word only when he explained about his second coming alone. Okay? Well, and Jesus is answered like this. Can you read it?
And Jesus answered and said to them, Take heed that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and I will deceive them. And you will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Yes. But when Jesus is saying that, there is a war, there is a rumor, there is a saying that I am the Christ. But this is end is not yet. But this end is not Shinteleia. This end is telos. Telos, which means ending times. Ending times. So ending time will be starting, last days will be start in one point. But before last day start, still there's a war, there's a rumor, there's a people who say that I am Christ. You know these people? You know these people? He's a gay, but he's claiming that he is a Jesus Christ. You know him, right? Apollo? Giboloi, he said he is a Jesus. You know him? Yes. And this couple, they both say they are the Jesus. That black man says Jesus too. And that man from the Russia, also he's saying that he's a Jesus. And she and him, everybody says that they are Messiah and they are the Jesus. What does Jesus say that? Many people will say that I'm the Christ. Is it happening now? Yes, happening now. How can you believe he is the Christ? Isn't it? But you must remember when Jesus comes, he will not touch ground. And he will come with thousands angels together, and everybody will see him, not like these people. You do not know, even, isn't it? How come they said they are Christ? Okay. This is the signs. Can you read it?
For nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Yes. The beginning of sorrow, which is Odin, the beginning of sorrow is the beginning of telos. What is the telos? Last days. How the last day start? How the last day? Famine, pestilence, and earthquake. Well, the Bible clearly says that there are three signs. Beginning of sorrow. What is the three signs? Famine, pestilence, and earthquake. What is the pestilence? Do you understand pestilence? Transmittable disease, like a coronavirus. Do you understand? But when, mark this is important. There will be terrible times in the last days. So last day is what day? Terrible time will come to everyone. Condition. What is the condition? Luke chapter 21 verse 35 is like, it must happen to all nations and all people of the world in earth. Okay, can you read the last one?
For it will come on all those who live on the face of the earth.
Yes. What does it say that? All those who live on the face of the whole world. So in other words, among these three, even one starting with whole world starting, that will be the sign that last days. What was started? Last day started or not? What is the coronavirus? Does it happen whole world? Yes. Did it happen before? Never. So when the pestilence started with the whole world, we must understand that beginning of sorrow started. Do you understand? Okay. What is the condition of this? The beginning of sorrow is a beginning of telos, which is the last day. The Bible say that we can know the time when beginning of sorrow start. Yes, it say that. Can you read this?
Peace and safety when sudden destruction comes upon them, as labor pains upon a pregnant woman, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness, so that this day should overtake you as
Yes. So when Jesus say that, when according to the Bible, the Paul is saying that when there is a peace and safety, just imagine, before Corona time, we were in peace and safety. There, we were not in peace and safety before Corona. We had no problem. The people do the business and they making money, and there was no problem. But when Corona come, peace and safety or no more now? No more now. So it says that like this: labor pain. That labor pain is Odin also. The beginning of sorrow, that sorrow is the same word, odin. So Bible clearly says that we will know when last days start. How? When there is a famine, pestilence, and earthquake worldwide. So we can think now, what will be happen for the next? We will have earthquake, but not here Gamai, there Gamai, but this is the earthquake, which is worldwide earthquake. And there will be famine, not here famine, there famine, but worldwide famine will come. And you must remember that. And that is the sign that last days has begun. Okay. Well, before Corona, you remember the Bohol? Before Corona, there was earthquake in Bohol, and everything, many things were destroyed, even the church. And this is the thing. And there is a volcano eruption, and there is some disaster are coming. Even before Corona, there are a flood, and there's a famine like this, and there's a flood like this. But this is worldwide or not worldwide? Is that worldwide or before? No, it's not. When there was a famine, this is the Philippines, in the Palawan, there was a very, very, strong famine. It was attacked. But in other side, there was no famine. But in the last day, what will be happen? The famine will be everywhere in the world. Well, even now, the people says it like this. The 5 regions the world is facing the global food crisis. It said like this. Conflict is creating hunger. The conflict is the biggest driver of hunger globally. About 65 people currently facing hunger and food insecurity. Why? Because the nations are fighting now. Who is fighting now? Russia and Ukraine. They are fighting quite a long time already. And it drives what? It drives the lacking of the food. Now, Philippines, your price of rice also increasing. Keep on increasing. Now, only the half sack is how much? 1,400. Before, one sack, 50 kilo, that was 1,200. Now, it's already more than the double. The second reason is that the war in the Ukraine impact. Yes. This impact, because of this, many places in the world, especially Africa, their price of the wheat, which is a flour, it was very increased. The rising of cost of living, yes. And extreme weather and drought. And the effects of the pandemic. It makes the people, drives out the 5 regions, make it hunger. Well, let's just see the Bible. Can you read it?
You bring to shut up the words. I shall run to it, and knowledge shall.
Yes. When God is saying that about the last day, the end of the time, God is saying what will be happen in the end time? Many shall run to and fro. What does it mean? They will travel very fast. And knowledge shall increase. We have a Google. When you type something you do not know, the Google will let you know. We have an AI, isn't it? So when you need to do the assignment, what you do? You just do using ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will give you the answer, isn't it? Was it happened before? Never. And the people travel fast. So when God says the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Is that complete? Yes, that's very complete. What about our heart, the people? It says that, but notice, this will be happening in the last days. Can you read it?
But know this, that in the last days there time will come, for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient, Unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, and from such people turn away.
Yes. It says that in the last day, how the people will change. They become so selfish, lovers of themselves. They don't care for others. They care only themselves. Lovers of money. Is that true? Yes. When you pray, just imagine, just remember yourself. When do you pray most? When you need the money, isn't it? And boasters, proud. And you want to show yourself proud. So what you do? You do TikTok, you do, showing in the Facebook that when you go somewhere, you want to be proud. So you are showing that where you are. When you are in good restaurant, you take a picture, post it, so that you can show that I am here. Disobedience. They don't follow the law of God anymore. Also to the parents, unthankful. They do not know what is a thanks. And unholy. Yes. In the street, many people, they are selling themselves, even the man or the woman. And unloving. Yes. Unforgiving. You are my enemy. Until the end, you are my enemy. And slanderers. Without self-control. Yes, people get crazy. They do not know how to control themselves. Brutal. What they do? They're showing in the sport, fighting each other. And they said that's a good sport. And they're getting a lot of money. This will be happen when? The last days. So everything of this here, does it happening now? Yes, it is happening now. In the God says that this will be happen in the last days, and surely it is happening just now. So when we see ourselves and the people around, we must have confidence because the Bible tell the truth. The truth. And what they say that? Lovers of pleasure rather than loves of God. They don't go to church if they go trouble, isn't it? They said they love God, but when they have a special occasion, then they never about the God. And they just play whatever they want, isn't it? This will be happen when? The last days. Last days. So are you sure that we are living in the last days? Yes. We must know from the Bible say that we are living very, very last days. Love of money. Yes. My family stay in the US. And this is what? Times Square in New York City, where the bill come from. And we went there together with my family, but I should let my boy close the eye because there is a girls like this. What is this? They're naked, topless. And they're taking picture with their naked body and they get money. Can you believe it? The ladies, they have no shame. They just take out everything and they just paint it and they take a picture with a tourist. So they really love money? Yes. Even they showing whatever, if they can get the money, they do whatever. Can you read it?
Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws near.
Yes. Jesus is saying that when these are things happen now, you look up. What does it mean? Don't look at the world anymore. You have the place to go because of your redemption. The second coming, Jesus' second coming is near to save you. So this is the right time. We need to see the heaven, not the world anymore. Do you understand? Okay, let's read the first one. The second one.
Then he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored and saw the Lord.
Yes. When we This is about the blind man. When Jesus touched him, he was able to see, and he was able to look up, and he was restored and saw everyone clearly. What does it mean? If we don't come to Jesus, we don't come to the Word, we cannot see what is going on in the Word now. But when we come to the Jesus and see the Word, it is the time when we become restored and see what is going on in the Word this time. Okay, can you read it?
And then many will be offended, will betray one another, and will hate one another. Then many false prophets will rise up and deceive them. And because lawlessness will abound, the love of many will grow cold.
Yes. In the last days, what Jesus says that false prophet will rise up. You know many false prophets now, isn't it? And when we know who is a false prophet, they are do lawlessness. What is a lawlessness? Yesterday we studied what is a lawlessness? Break the law. That's right. Break the law. Very good. So when they break the law, there's a false prophet. And love of many will grow cold. According to the constitution of most country, never can stop worshiping God. What is the constitution? Law of the world. Law of the nation. The basic law of the nation, we call that constitution. Philippines has a constitution? You have or not? Yes, because you, also country, you have your own constitution. But we saw they did, and everyone agreed when their life become matter. What? During the Corona time, they closed the church. Actually, they cannot do that in the law. So lawlessness will abound, meaning to say, in the last days, they don't consider the law. It means when their life is in danger, they don't care about the law. For example, like this. We worship during the Corona time in this house and also the other house. Because all churches are closed, not all, but most of church closed, they have nowhere to worship. But what will be happen? The people will be persecuted. The people who not follow them, they will persecute. Why? You are the people who transmit the corona and they persecute. Although the constitution is a really sure, give the surety that you have a freedom of religion. But it was prohibited. Well, and this gospel, what does it say that? Can you read it?
And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the end will come.
Yes. The end is telos, which means last days. So last days will be begun when all the world knows about the knowledge about the Jesus. And Mark chapter 13 verse 10 says like this, and the gospel must first be preached to all the nations. The first is the proton. So first in time or place, meaning to say it should be started first, it should be complete first, so that the last days will come. It means the gospel preached already to all the nation. When Corona started and God is showing that this is the last days begun, then what? The gospel of the Jesus was preached. Well, this is the Adventism. In Adventist, we have a website and we say that these are the places, the red spot, not yet preached. But actually, I found something. Why? Because I went to the Brunei many years ago already, before Corona time. And I saw many Filipino. And among the Filipino, there are many Adventists too. So in other words, it actually, all over these places, was preached the word of God already. Well, can you read it? We read it already?
Look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is
That's right. It says that when these are the happening, we must look up our eyes. And we must see what is really going on. Can you read it?
now learn this parable from the when his branch has already become tender and puts forth leaves, you know that summer is near. So you also, when you see these things happening, you know that it is near. Assuredly, I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away through all these things yet.
Yes. Jesus is clearly saying that when these things are happening, you know the time is near. And this time will not last long, more than a generation. Because Jesus said that this generation will by no means pass away. Meaning to say, before your generation ends, Jesus will come. Do you understand? We do not know when Jesus will come, but one thing is sure, when? Before your generation ends, Jesus will come. I cannot say many years, how many years, I cannot say anything. Because in the beginning, what we said, people knows when Jesus will come or not. We do not know. But we see many signs. Jesus is showing us the many signs. These things happen. And when these things are happen, you must look at the heaven. Look up. And you must know that I will come before this generation end. Now, you must be happy because Jesus is coming. Are you happy or not happy? Happy. When you are ready, you will be happy. But when you are not ready, is it happy news or bad news? Bad news. Bad news. So what we must do now? We must have right faith on Jesus. What is the faith? That's right. We only can have salvation through Him by the faith alone. Jesus said to him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Jesus Christ. Yes. Can we save the world? Can we stop climate change? No, never. We read this yesterday. What does it say? In the beginning laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the works of your hands. They will perish, but you remain, and they will all grow old like a garment. The Bible clearly says that we cannot stop climate change. But those climate change and those diseases, those earthquakes will show up that who is coming soon? Jesus is coming soon. You study the Bible, why? To be safe, or because you just interested about the Bible you study? What is your purpose to study the Bible? For salvation or just interesting? Salvation, that's right. Then what you need to have? You should have the faith. Faith. You should listen, keep, and do as what the faith says. As what Bible says then. I hope you will not backslide or you will not give up, because God invite you to come here and He prepare your way to be saved. So we should join the salvation together. Let's pray.